How's it going, guys? It's Burgess here and welcome to another Rise of Kingdom video. Today I'm going to talk about why some players disappear when they're trying to help. It may sound crazy, but here is the thing in Rise of Kingdom. Is how some players accidentally remove themselves from the battlefield trying to support their kingdom. The strange part is that those players are usually making what looks like a responsible decision. And this is the controversy in this hot topic, and I still wanted to point out because it's extremely important for the kingdoms and for the players to understand their role in general on the battlefield. Now, what started changing my opinion was watching strong accounts become strategically invisible during the big fights. The dangerous thing about defense is that helpful and efficient are not always the same thing. Now let's talk about the defense logic that confuses most players. A lot of players assume their strongest march should automatically go in the defense. This is the biggest problem I see with the players. Now, I was defending one of these one of these alliance flags, and I saw that there is already legion inside. And I saw this is a very solid legion. I'm just going to give you my process and how I approach the defense, so you can have at least an idea maybe what is going to be a good practice. So you're having somebody who is going to be leading the garrison in this alliance flag. You have obviously alliance flag, reinforcement capacity, blah blah blah, but I saw there is already a player there. Now what I don't want to do is definitely go and send my Minamoto and my Chow Chow in this flag to protect. Now why is that? The reason behind is simple. I'm just going to lose this legion. A lot of players assume their strongest march should automatically go in the defense, and I don't assume that. I should protect my my strongest march so I can be still present on the battlefield. The problem is that static value and battlefield value are completely different things. You can sit at a place where nobody's going to attack with your best legion, or just send some legion as a reinforcement. Somebody's going to use their commander for this garrison and use your best march on the battlefield. One powerful march walked inside a structure can quietly remove pressure from open field. What looks safe initially can reduce your kingdom flexibility later. And I think this is one of the mistakes that the players are doing. They basically know one march. For example, I developed this march and I'm going to play only with this march. And the moment they lock their march, is no longer this march is present on the battlefield. And if it's not present on the battlefield, it's no longer doing some pressure. And the majority of the cases, something that you're going to notice, or at least I'm noticing, is people are investing, at least the smart players are investing in one march. The moment they make this march strong enough, they jump over the second march, the third march, the fourth march. You get the idea. But at the beginning, it's mostly going to be just one march. It's just hard to build the whole context around one march. It can be gear, it can be awakening, it can be many things for one march. Now, why open field value is harder to see? Open field impact is harder to measure emotionally. Players notice rallies and garrison because they are visible focus points. Now, if you go and there is some fights happening, you're definitely going to focus over the fights and rallies that maybe is happening around this alliance flag. From, for example, the dude who is moving his march on maybe somewhere here, the other dude that's moving his march here. You're going to notice where the clash is in form of rallies. And this is actually the problem there. Players notice the rallies and the garrison, but battlefield control often comes from repeated pressure and flexibility. And if you can actually cut out somebody that is rallying your it can be garrison, or if you can cut the reinforcements that is coming to this place to fill, you know, with the troops, to fill the garrison with the troop, or to fill the rally with the troops, you're going to weaker this rally or garrison, and at one point you're going to just, you know, win the fights there, just because there's not going to be any kind of reinforcements there at the end of the day. The strange part is that active field presence quietly shapes entire fights. So the moment you're basically putting your legion inside your strongest legion in some kind of tower, no longer you're not present here. Even if you're present, most likely you're going to be with more weaker march. And why, if everybody take out their strong march and put it behind the walls, in form of garrison, or filling the rally with their marches, there's not going to be any strong legion on the battlefield. So this is my point why open field value is harder to see. Now, the opportunity cost most players ignore. Let's talk about this. Every march assigned to static defense stops doing something else. So the moment you walk your troops inside this alliance flag, they're just stopping there, and they're not doing anything there. Strong players constantly think about opportunity cost during the wars. And this is normal. You just have to know how much time you're going to spend, how much healing you're going to do, some resources you're going to spend. All these things is calculated by the strong players. And one of the things is what their legions are doing. Imagine to be online and not be able to fight because you walk in your legions inside some tower or in the rally. Now, why Wales changed the equation? Well, Wales defense logic and normal player defense logic are completely different worlds. Wales can afford specialized marches normal account cannot sustain. Now, the way Well can have all those legendary heroes that are here to be, you know, fully leveled up, fully awakened, you name it. Till the normal player account cannot actually do that. This is where the problems are coming. The Whales have this flexibility that the normal accounts don't have it. The hidden problem with overcommitting premium troops. One of the dangerous things about premium troops is how emotionally attached players become to protecting them. Players often lock their strongest value into predictable situations. Static defense can quietly reduce your ability to react dynamically. And the reports may still look fine when the battlefield influence disappear. And this is maybe the most important thing is you just have to be careful how you play with your main march, especially if you have like one. If you have like two, maybe the situation can be different. One can be locked in some kind of garrison or rally. The second one can thrive on the battlefield. But at the end of the day, if you have enough troops, I can just send Constance with some troops, because the rally or the garrison, if already having commander, they just care for my troops and the tier of my troops. They don't care about which heroes I'm going to put as leaders of my legion when I'm doing reinforcements. So yeah, just wanted to share my 2 cents over the mistakes that can quietly remove you from the KVK, and those mistakes is basically walking up your account at a place that it should not be. You should reinforce with other heroes. So yeah, this will be for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit one like, subscribe for more Rise of Kingdom videos. I wish you a great day. See you in the next video.